Cognitive biases can impact us in many ways, especially when it comes down to our thinking or even the way that we intake information. Confirmation bias is finding and remembering information, confirming pre-existing thoughts and beliefs. So that could just be something like, I believe I'm going to have a panic attack, and then you do. So now you were like, well, I knew I was going to have one anyway. Anchoring, making a decision which is influenced by a reference point. So making a decision that the sky will be blue this morning because it's been blue yesterday. False consensus, assuming that in general the people around us agree with what we think and believe in. This one could be explained by just believing that everybody believes that the earth is round or flat, depending on your viewpoint. The next cognitive bias is stereotyping, generalizing a group of people because of a certain trait they share. For example, maybe you notice an older person pull out in front of your car, and so now you believe that they will drive slow because other older people usually have driven slow in your past. The next one is cognitive dissonance, a mental discomfort which occurs when beliefs are not in line with behaviors. So this could be someone saying that they eat really healthy, and then you've been around them for a week and all you've seen them eat is like cake and McDonald's. Not that cake and McDonald's are bad, but you get my point. The next one is spotlight effect, thinking people pay more attention to how we look and behave than what actually happens. A good example that I often see of this is when we go into the store and we're so self-conscious about ourselves that we believe everybody's watching us, when in reality, that might just be our anxiety talking. The seventh cognitive bias is fear of missing out, fearing that other people are having rewarding experiences that we are missing out on. Number 8, hindsight bias, the tendency to see events, even random ones, as more predictable than they were. Oftentimes, it's really important to reflect on the experience that we went through and just to come to the peace that we did what we knew we did in that moment. We knew what we knew and we acted with the knowledge that we had. Even though now that we went through it, we might have done it differently, we still didn't have that knowledge when we actually went through that situation. Is self-serving bias, the tendency to give ourselves credit for successes, but blaming failures on outside causes. Gambler's fallacy, thinking that a future option is affected by a previous event, while it's actually independent and oftentimes unrelated. The halo effect, believing that if someone is good at something, they'll be good at other things too, when in reality, we're all good at our own things. And just because that I'm good at writing a paper doesn't mean that I'm good at math, or vice versa. Maybe other people are really good at math, but aren't good at doing things like writing a paper. Or they're good at both. Availability heuristic, so making judgments and decisions based on examples which immediately come to mind. Oftentimes, this is just another way of saying that maybe it wasn't thought out, or that we didn't spend enough time thinking about all of our options, and we just decided based on the first thing that came to our brain.